it's Jessie V. So I am feeling just a little bit Christmassy today. I think it's because my shirt is like a dark green and a red, and I have green under my eyes and green on my lips. Or not green on my lips, pink on my lips. So I don't know, we got some Kris Kringle vibes in here. No, honestly, I think Christmas went by way too fast, so I think unknowingly I was still channeling it. But anyways, we're way past Christmas. We just passed Valentine's Day, which by the way was my birthday. I am officially 24. I know I look like I am 17 years old still. I even played a 15-year-old on the Running with Violet show that I was on, so people still think I look way younger than I actually am. Which, you know what? That might be a compliment when I'm like 30, you know? It's probably better to look younger than you are than older than you are. So I'm not too mad about it, it's fine. Anyways though, today I have a pretty creepy story for you. I just thought about it the other day and I was like, I have to tell this. But before I get started, I wanted to tell you guys some exciting announcements, or I guess it's just really one announcement. I want to start this thing called Unicorn of the Week. I know there have been tons of YouTubers in the past who maybe once a day or once a week will pick one of their subscribers that is just really involved with their channel, watching their videos a lot, sharing their videos, liking their videos, reaching out to me on different social media. So I think I want to start my own, and I want to call it my own thing to be more original. So I'm going to be doing Unicorn of the Week. So basically I'm just going to be shouting out a person that I see sort of popping up in my notifications a lot, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you know, commenting on my videos, liking my videos, sharing my videos. If I see your name pop up a lot, I will choose you for Unicorn of the Week. I will do a different person every single week, and I just think that's another good way to get you guys involved in my channel and with me, because you guys are my family and I want to appreciate you as much as I can. So with that being said, I'm going to be starting this really creepy story. This took place back when I was in, I believe, grade 9. I was relatively young, or at least that's young for me, seeing as that was like 10 years ago or something. There is literally something burning in my eye and it's driving me crazy, so excuse me. Alright, so back when I was in grade 9, I went to this summer camp. It wasn't one of those like week-long summer camps. It was only about 3 days, so it was super short, which was good because I honestly really hate summer camp. Like whenever I think of summer camp, I think of like sunscreen, people running around, silly introducing games. You know, like when you sit in a circle and they're like,
okay, Jessie, make your name rhyme with something and tell us one fact about yourself.
And you're just sitting there like, ugh, I'd rather be home sleeping right now. But I'm also just very socially awkward, and any sort of thing where I have to like be around other people, it just makes me really anxious. I've gotten past that, you know, later on in my life, you know, like in terms of meeting you guys and having meet and greets. Like I love those sort of things, but back then with the whole camp thing, it was a no-no for me. But anyways, I went to this camp for 3 days, and because I was one of the older kids there, the camp counselors made me sort of their assistant. Like they made me have a job where I'd take care of the little kids at camp, you know? So there's this one particular day where one of the camp counselors asked the entire group what they wanted to do. Did they want to go to the park or did they want to go to the swimming pool? And basically the votes came to 50-50, so some kids wanted to go swimming, some kids wanted to go to the park. So we decided to just sort of separate the groups. And I was put on park duty, which I was like a little upset about, because honestly, I love pools, I love swimming, I love being around the water. I was a lifeguard for like 3 to 4 years. I even taught swimming lessons, so the pool was where I wanted to be. I'm also like an undercover mermaid, so just water's great. So, but now they sent me to the sand area, the dirty sand monkey bars area. So it was about a 10-minute walk to the park. It was me and this other girl looking over the kids. So we were like, I don't know, 15 at the time or something, and we had about 6 kids to look after, so nothing crazy. I was like watching 3, she was watching 3, all was good. We arrive at the park and these kids just take off. Like 2 goes for the slide, 3 go for the swings. Parks to kids, it's just like the best thing in the world to them. Whenever I went to a park as a kid, I'd fall off the swing, I'd like make it halfway through the monkey bars and then fall down. My hands would get all like blistered and stuff. The park was never an enjoyable place for me, but I can understand why some kids love it, I guess. But yeah, so we're there, the kids were all playing, I'm just sitting on the bench with this girl, and suddenly the person who I'm with, let's call her Tina. I've literally never known a Tina in my entire life, but that's what we're gonna call her. Although I think I had a Barbie named Tina. So Tina sort of nudges me while we're sitting on this bench, and she's like, Jess, do you see something over there in the forest? Side note, this park was literally in front of this giant forest, because at this camp they had like a pool, a park, park, and then all kinds of sort of fun stuff to do in the forest, like ropes on the trees, tree houses in there. So the camp was just surrounded by trees, sort of like my house right here. So I look into the forest, I don't really see anything, and then she points to exactly where she's looking, and she's like, that over there, there's like something moving behind the trees. So I'm like squinting because like my eyesight's not very good, but I do see like a figure sort of standing between the bushes and the trees. It's really dark, so we can't really see any facial features or anything. We just see a silhouette, but it's definitely moving, and it's definitely sort of tall, because at first I'd be like, okay, it's probably just a kid, but because of the height, I was like, no, that's definitely an adult of some sort. Of some sort. What does that even mean? So I looked at Tina, I'm like, it's probably just like a camp counselor just checking out what's going on, making sure everyone's okay. So we sort of just ignore it for the next 15 minutes. So the kids continue playing, and we have sort of a time limit to be at the park, so I think we had like 5 more minutes to go or something, and my eye just goes back to the forest quickly before I call the kids, and right when I look, I can see that figure still there, but like a small little light sort of flashes. So I turn to Tina and I'm like, is someone standing in the forest with a cell phone taking pictures? And she's like, yeah, that's really, really weird. So we call the kids back because we're getting kind of freaked out, and then we walk back to the camp counselors, and right away Tina and I tell one of the guys who's a camp counselor, and we're like, yeah, we think there was some man or woman standing by the park in the forest taking pictures of the kids, or I don't know, maybe me and Tina, we're not too sure what he was taking pictures of, but there was definitely someone there. So the camp counselor's like, thanks for telling me, I'll definitely, you know, let people know about this and inform people, and we'll keep an eye out for this. I personally think that maybe they should have called the police or something, because I don't know, anytime there's a strange adult near a kid's playground with a camera, it's just like, it's something that needs to be dealt with like right away. But the camp counselor was like,
oh, it's totally fine, like I'll just write it down and we'll forget about it.
So then the next day, when I went back to the camp, Tina and I decided to go back to the park on our lunch break, because the camp counselor and all of us sort of decided that we shouldn't take the kids back to the park after that happening, but Tina and I were still curious to see if maybe that guy was there. So on our lunch break, we walked over and we sat on the bench and we kind of waited for a little while, and there were a few parents like with their kids on the swings and stuff, but it just wasn't any of the camp kids. It was just like random kids with their parents. So we're just sort of sitting, waiting to see if the guy would come back, and one of the parents actually sat beside me on the bench. So I looked to her and I was like, have you ever seen like anyone standing sort of watching the park or taking pictures or anything like that? And she was like, yeah, actually a few days ago when I took my son here, we saw like someone sort of standing off in the distance, sort of watching. We didn't know if it was like a parent watching their kid or not, but it was definitely really weird, and we left early because of it. And I was like, yeah, because yesterday I saw the same thing, but he was taking pictures like from the forest. So she was like, that's not good, like maybe we need to report this further. And I was like, yeah, definitely. So when I actually went back to see the camp counselor with Tina, we told him how other parents had seen this as well. And the camp counselor took us aside and was like, come here, like I need to talk to you. So we went to like a different room, and he was like, the police actually caught a guy yesterday after you and Tina left, because he actually started approaching the park and apparently was doing like really weird things, like had a very strange behavior. Like he would walk over to some of the benches where parents would have like their backpacks and stuff just sitting there, and would like sort of start smelling it and touching it. And apparently he just seemed like, I don't know if he was on something, but he had a very erratic, strange behavior, was what the camp counselor kept saying. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so creepy, because Tina and I must have just left with the kids before the guy actually left and came out of the forest and walked over to the park, because the police got him like literally that evening. So I don't know, that just totally freaked me out, and it just goes to show you that there is such thing as stranger danger, and there are a lot of weird people out there. So if you're ever like at the park or just anywhere in general, the mall, just anywhere with your friends, especially if you do not have an adult present or something, just be aware of your surroundings. Definitely look around. It's even not a good idea to go anywhere by yourself in this day and age, it seems. So if you see any suspicious activity activities, someone's watching you, someone following you, definitely call the police right away because you don't want to make any mistakes and then regret it later if something happens. So yeah, just there's so many people that are untrustworthy and just have very strange intentions. So it's a scary world out there, guys. Be careful. I know nothing extreme happened to me in this story, but it was just insane to me how we'd sit there and see like flashes going off in the forest and a creepy long silhouette. Like, looking back in it, it's just so freaky, and I wish I left right away and didn't like sort of wait around because whew, I don't even know. So yeah, I thought I would share that very strange story with you guys. Also, I have been thinking of tons of stories through my life lately because I sort of had a brief buffer moment where I wasn't posting story times on this channel, and it was actually because I was not running out of ideas, but I couldn't think of some really significant events in my life that I could talk about. But lately, they've all been coming back to me. Like, I literally have this journal now. It says, life ambition, become a mermaid, because honestly, that's just my life. And so I have been writing so many story time ideas in here that I can tell you guys. So there are so many stories coming to this channel. Just wait. Tons of them are actually freaky because my whole life is just spooky. But there's just a bunch of stuff in here. And also, I'm so excited to tell your stories as well. If you have any you want to send to me, definitely send it to jessivstories@outlook.com. I'm going to be telling a few a week. And yeah, the first unicorn of the week is going to be next week. So if you're, watching every single one of my videos, liking them, commenting on them, the more I see your name pop up, you could be unicorn of the week. So that's the plan, and I love you guys so much, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and until next time, bye!